Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
Listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
Try. You catch him, he want to catch you back. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo responded to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's fight offer with a strong message, saying Crawford would defeat Floyd if they ever met in the ring. He praised Crawford as the better fighter right now, giving him full credit for his achievements. Canelo called him an incredible talent with exceptional timing, noting that Crawford has already proven himself across multiple weight classes and earned respect from the entire sport. Boxing analyst Garage Hackett compared Canelo's past loss to Mayweather with Crawford's success.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and
Complete fighters of this generation. Some voices in boxing argue that for Crawford to truly surpass Mayweather's legacy, he would need to face Dimitri Bivol. Bivol's size and technical skill would make him Crawford's toughest challenge yet. Beating him, critics say, would push Crawford's legacy beyond Floyd's and prove he could defeat a prime, bigger, and elite-level opponent. Reports also suggest Crawford is aiming to make history by becoming a six-division world champion. Already recognized for dominating across multiple weight classes, he now has his eyes on middleweight, a division with naturally bigger.
What I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit, though, for beating Canelo. And Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So,
explaining that Canelo was only 23 when he faced Floyd and still learning. By contrast, Crawford fought Canelo when he was already an experienced champion. Hackett believes that makes Crawford's win even more meaningful. Joe Rogan called Crawford's victory historic, pointing out that at 37 years old he moved up 2 weight divisions to beat a fighter of Canelo's caliber. He said no one at that stage of their career has done something similar, describing it as a defining moment that proved Crawford's greatness. Paulie Malignaggi discussed the ongoing...
It's like, you're watching, like, wow, towards the end, towards the final rounds, really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something really special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I can barely go.
Bigger and stronger fighters. If successful, this would further cement his status as one of boxing's all-time greats. Adding more intrigue, rising star Janibek Alimkanieli has publicly challenged Crawford to a fight at middleweight. Undefeated and gaining momentum, Janibek sees this as a career-defining opportunity. For Crawford, such a fight would not only test his legacy, but also offer another chance to prove his dominance in a new division. Finally, one analyst reflected on Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last fighter to defeat Crawford in his amateur days. He explained that today, beating Crawford would require
54-pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, oh, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 50.
Debate about who is greater, Mayweather or Crawford. He said comparisons are endless because each fighter came from a different era with different challenges. Malignaggi credited Floyd for his perfect record, while also praising Crawford for conquering several divisions and beating top opponents. For him, the debate itself is what keeps boxing alive. Timothy Bradley shared his belief that Crawford would also have the skills to beat Mayweather. He explained that Crawford's intelligence, adaptability, and timing could handle Floyd's defensive style, even in his prime. Bradley said Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight makes him one of the most near-perfect.
Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's going to reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He going to reach with that right hand against Crawford? He going to get slept reaching with that backhand, the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too, and he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems of Crawford.
Just as it once did against Mayweather. With sharp defense, precise offense, and unmatched adaptability, Crawford now carries the same aura of being nearly untouchable. Canelo responded to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's fight offer with a strong message, saying Crawford would defeat Floyd if they ever met in the ring. He praised Crawford as the better fighter right now, giving him full credit for his achievements. Canelo called him an incredible talent with exceptional timing, noting that Crawford has already proven himself across multiple weight classes and earned respect from the entire sport. Boxing analyst
Bivol, Bud next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's?
are endless because each fighter came from a different era with different challenges. Malignaggi credited Floyd for his perfect record while also praising Crawford for conquering several divisions and beating top opponents. For him, the debate itself is what keeps boxing alive. Timothy Bradley shared his belief that Crawford would also have the skills to beat Mayweather. He explained that Crawford's intelligence, adaptability, and timing could handle Floyd's defensive style, even in his prime. Bradley said Crawford's ability to adjust
and Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed.
Beating him, critics say, would push Crawford's legacy beyond Floyd's and prove he could defeat a prime, bigger, and elite-level opponent. Reports also suggest Crawford is aiming to make history by becoming a 6th division world champion. Already recognized for dominating across multiple weight classes, he now has his eyes on middleweight, a division with naturally bigger and stronger fighters. If successful, this would further cement his status as one of boxing's all-time greats. Adding more intrigue, rising star Janibek Alimkanieli has publicly challenged Crawford to a fight at
welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160, that Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO
weight. Undefeated and gaining momentum, Janibek sees this as a career-defining opportunity. For Crawford, such a fight would not only test his legacy, but also offer another chance to prove his dominance in a new division. Finally, one analyst reflected on Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last fighter to defeat Crawford in his amateur days. He explained that today, beating Crawford would require near perfection, just as it once did against Mayweather. With sharp defense, precise offense, and unmatched adaptability, Crawford now carries the same aura of being nearly untouchable. Garage Hackett compared Canelo
Crawford. What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down, and you know, I stayed in his chest. You know, and you got to counter Crawford. You got to fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, you know, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think
because,
I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah.
And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you.
Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.